weekend review. I travel from here-ish, all the way to the center of the country to just about here. Stay tuned for my big adventure. Landed in Kansas City. It's Saturday and this airport's real quiet. There's me and like 4 other friends at this airport. I sat next to an environmental scientist on the plane right here, and I was able to ask the scientist all of the questions that I have. We talked for like 3 hours, and he was writing a book, and I wanted to ask if I could interview him, but I felt like that would be too weird. So now I'm kind of just walking behind him, realizing I was talking a little loud. He probably heard me. Anyway, I was able to ask him these 3 questions that have been plaguing me since I moved here. My first question, and I'm so excited to finally have the answer to this, is why aren't there any lightning bugs in Seattle? There's tons of lightning bugs in Chicago during the summer. It's strange that there's no lightning bugs in Seattle. He gave me the answer. Second question I had for him, where's the wind? Why does the wind only blow like once a year? Where I come from in Chicago, it's windy all the time. So the answer to that question was a really good one. Third question I had for him was, where are the thunderstorms? Why is there no lightning and no thunder? Very rarely do we have thunderstorms in Seattle. Again, coming from Chicago, we have them all the time. So he was able to answer these questions. I will share the answers to these questions on Monday, but I want you, if you're curious about these questions, spend a little time thinking about them over the weekend. Think about your predictions, and we'll talk Monday. Okay, more later. Thunderstorms in Seattle, and Alec, what is your answer?
So I guess if I had to answer without doing any research, I guess my answer would be, considering how close Seattle is to the ocean, and possibly the ocean currents have something to do with the lack of thunderstorms. So you get rain, but you don't get thunderstorms.
He's really smart.
So that would be my guess.
Okay, we'll see. I survived my family wedding, and I'm back at the airport, and I have a riddle for you. So, you know how you can't bring water through security? So I came through security, and this terminal is tiny. There's only 3 gates. So I'm in this kind of like caged area where there's 3 gates. So you can't bring your water through security. And then I was thinking, no problem, friend. I'll just buy some water in my gate. But there's no water. So I went back through security, bought a $6 water, and then I thought I had like figured it out. And then I get to the security checkpoint and I realized I can't bring this water through. So I had to buy, so I bought my $6 water, had to dump it out. So now I have a $6 water bottle that I can fill up in the bathroom sink. Ha. Got me, you got me. Okay, so I have to tell you this really, really funny story about my Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff is my mom's little brother. Uncle Jeff is Alex's dad, the guy that gave us his prediction. Interrupt really quickly and just do a quick family tree showing my mom and her 6 younger brothers. This story involves my Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff is Alex's dad. Alec is who we just saw, and Kristen got married this weekend. So this story involves Uncle Jeff and Uncle Mike, my mom's little brothers. On why there aren't thunderstorms in Seattle. His name's Alec. He's a super accomplished, hardworking kid. He's a sophomore in college. He's actually studying abroad next year in London, and he's just really hardworking and wonderful, and I love him so much. But his dad is named Jeff, so that's my mom's little brother. And when his dad was little, he loved animals, and he was not doing his best in school. So my grandpa made him a deal, and he said, if you try harder in school, I will get you any pet that you want. So Uncle Jeff worked really hard and came to my grandpa, brought his report card to my grandpa at the end of the school year, and he said, okay Dad, I've worked really hard, look what I've done. And so Grandpa, his dad, said, okay, well, we made a deal, let's go to the pet store. There's pet stores, and this was the 70s, so it's a very weird time. Let's go to the pet store, you can pick out a pet. So they walked down or drove to the pet store, and Uncle Jeff already knew what he wanted. He wanted a baby alligator. So my grandpa bought him a baby alligator because that's an okay thing to do when your young child accomplishes something. So they bought a baby alligator. They bought a tank for the baby alligator, like a little sun lamp, some alligator food, not sure exactly what you feed an alligator, and set it up in the basement, like in their rec room. And the rule in our family was, well, in their family, so keep in mind, so this is my Uncle Jeff, it's my mom's little brother, but so my mom's the oldest, and she has 6 little brothers. So the rule is, in this crazy household, don't put your hand in the tank because it's a baby alligator and, someone can get hurt. So my mom's babysitting, and the boys are downstairs. And as brothers do, one of the brothers dares the other brother. I don't know which brother it was, but one of the brothers dared the other brother to put his hand in the alligator tank just really quickly. And in my mom's family, you were daring to do something, you need to do it. So the boys decided it'll be fine, and this is a true story. I'm telling you this story, and you're probably gonna think I'm making it up. I'm not. This is a legendary story in our family, and I really wish I would have had one of my uncles tell that last night because they could do such a better job than I am. But okay, so I'm pretty sure it's Uncle Mike took on the dare, and he's like, sure, I'll do it, and he's like, but I don't want to get my hand bitten off. And so my other uncle said, hey, here, I have a great idea. Just let's wrap newspaper around your hand, and that will protect your hand. So he's like, okay, fine. Wraps newspaper around his hand, Uncle Mike, puts his hand in the tank, a baby alligator tank, and what do you think happens? The baby alligator latches onto his hand. Uncle Mike pulls the alligator, pulls his hand out of the tank, and the alligator is attached to his hand. And he's running around the basement with this baby alligator latched onto his hand. Everyone's screaming. They're trying to pry the alligator off of his hand, baby alligator, and trying to pry the baby alligator's mouth off of the newspaper covered hand. Finally, they're able to do it. Put the alligator back in the tank, put the lid back on the tank, and Uncle Mike's, they unwrap his hand, and he's seriously wounded. But normal people would tell their parents, go to the hospital, seek medical care. No, not my mom's brothers. They just wrapped it up. They were too afraid to tell my grandpa that he had been bit by the alligator. He thought he couldn't even imagine what the consequence would be. So, and I don't think they told my mom. Even my mom was in charge, mind you. They just wrapped it up with some gauze and Band-Aids and lived to tell a story. I don't know if it's scarred. I'm sure it must be, but if you have the opportunity to choose a pet, don't choose a baby alligator, And certainly never put your hand in the baby alligator's tank, even if you wrapped a newspaper around it. I made it home. Hey, Mr. Calamaris, are you okay?
Yeah.
How'd your weekend go with the boys?
Fun.
Cal, did you have fun weekend with Daddy? Did you have fun with Daddy this weekend, Cal? Cal, are you happy that Mommy's home? Are you happy that Mommy's home? I missed you. Did you have fun with Daddy? I don't know where Cal went. I made it safely home. Cannot wait for a wonderful week with you all. Cal, do you want to say bye-bye, 5th graders?
Bye-bye,